Hi, everyone, and welcome to EdexLive Podcast, where student stories become inspiration for so many of us navigating education, passion, and purpose. Today, we have with us Aarav Vijai, a grade 12 student from Mumbai, whose life turned a personal challenge into two incredible initiatives: FeedEase, a robotic feeder arm helping children with cerebral palsy, and Sketches for a Cause, where art meets empathy to support children with medical hardships. In this episode, we will talk about what pushed Aarav to start building, how he balances innovation and creativity with school, and what's next for his vision. Hi, Aarav. Welcome to EdexLive Podcast. How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Let's dive into questions. So, Aarav, Sketches for a Cause shows how creativity and social good combine. What was the first time you felt your art made real impact?
So through Sketches of a Cause, for a cause, where now it's called Kensho Foundation, which is an NGO I've started. So in this, I have many products, an inventory of products, which the sketches that I've made, I print them on such products. So at the beginning, like during lockdown, these sketches, my first product was a badge. Like during Independence Day, Republic Day, you wear badges, right? So for those, I had made badges. The first time that I really felt that it counted, it mattered, was when initially it was not like I wouldn't charge, because it was just something I did as a passion, sketch, make badges and just give it to people. So during the lockdown on Independence Day, I was distributing it with the people, the staff in my society, the watchmen, the lift men and all. So when I gave it to the watchman, I remember one watchman, he looking at it, he smiled, because at that time all of them, they were all they were all stuck in the society, right? Because they couldn't leave with the risk of COVID, and they had to stay there. So just seeing them, and they had something new with them, and that was really fulfilling. So through Sketches for a Cause, by the money that I get, 90% of the profits, the proceeds, go to an NGO for HIV/AIDS. So I still remember, like the first time when I had gone, it was with a small amount. I had gone to donate 5,000 rupees the first time I had gone to donate. And I remember I took a photo with the head of the NGO for that branch and the students. So just seeing them all happy, like just seeing that smile on their faces, the children, and it was really nice. And emotionally also, I felt like there is a good purpose that's being fulfilled, and that was very much made me feel like the path that I'm following is very much good. And yeah.
Tell us about building FeedEase from the first concept to prototyping. What were the biggest surprises you encountered technically or emotionally?
Right. So I have a very deep passion for robotics. So for this, I started FeedEase. So it is basically, I started building FeedEase, which is a robotic arm feeder for children with cerebral palsy. And now I'll also extend it for people with disabilities. This started when I was in 6th grade and I had a fracture. During that period that I was able to connect with people, especially able people who have disabilities. And that just made me feel how there is so much more, that engineering is something that can help the society, but there's so little that is being done. So I felt that I should also do my part. And then as lockdown got over, I decided to build this FeedEase for an NGO with cerebral palsy. So I went to talk to them, and one of the biggest surprises was when the first time that I saw cerebral palsy children. Initially, I'd never seen or met. I didn't know much about this disorder. It's basically of how their motor skills is affected. But just seeing that they don't have control over their actions, they're able to perceive everything, but they are not able to respond to it. It was really shocking, because we, in our normal life, we experience so many things that we take them for granted. But simple things like walking or talking or hugging your parents, that's something that I saw that they couldn't, because of some disorder that they have had. Now for during the building of the prototype, I have built at least 2-3 prototypes. So for the which are on different stages. At the first stage, when I built it, it was a simple prototype. I had to use tape to keep it upright, because of the weight of the device, I was drooping again and again. And because of this, it affected the motion of the robotic arm, since the robotic arm has a vertical and a horizontal axis motion. So then the second time that I built it, I made sure that I made it more stable. I used the most stable material. Yeah, and that really made a difference. And another of such surprises were like how they had certain specifications for the food that they had, the material that should be used. Like, for example, the program leader at the NGO for cerebral palsy, they specifically told me that when you're making the robotic arm, don't make the spoon out of plastic. Like, don't attach a plastic spoon because of the microplastics that are there. It could affect the students and the children. So I had to specifically cater it to for a metal spoon. So these were some of the surprises that I had to encounter.
At NGO, when children and caregivers tried out your robotic feeder, what feedback or moment stood out the most? What did it teach you beyond engineering?
Like I had mentioned before, that these children with cerebral palsy, they don't have control over their motions, right? So that was one of the variables that I had not taken into consideration, specifically because the robotic arm, it has limited motion in the sense it has vertical and horizontal. When a child opens their mouth, there's a camera that detects the open mouth, and that will set the robotic arm into motion. But one of the feedbacks that I had gotten was how there should be a wider range. Like like your wrist, it has wider range of motion. Similarly, the robotic arm, instead of a servo motor, which was used by me, instead of that, you should use one device which will allow it to have a greater range of motions. So that was one of the feedbacks. Another feedback was how it should be more stable. Although the second prototype was stable, there was also the problem was that these children, they since they don't have control over their actions, they may hit it, or they may cause it to fall or damage it. So how we should make it like more stable on the ground, or on the table. And we should also like make something that will help them to sit still, right? These were some of the feedbacks that I had gotten from them.
With the web app you are making, how are you imagining its everyday use by caregivers, children, schools, and what are the main accessibility decisions you are making?
So this web app is for people, specifically children with who are mute, or they who aren't able to communicate, who have communication disabilities. This could be for a variety of reasons, like they had to go through some trauma that has caused them to stop talking, or they have some neurological disorder that has caused them to stop talking. Similarly, stop talking. So this Speakease, the app is called Speakease. This is basically, it's an AI powered app when it is very much personalized to the user. Like many a times there are apps, for example, currently there are a couple of apps for people with communication disabilities, but the problem with them is that they have such a wide range of icons. For the students to communicate, they need to type a sentence. It becomes very much confusing. They have to type, and if they don't know, then it becomes more confusing and more cumbersome. Also, like for example, there's an app that in which it has icons, images, but that is not catered only to the Indian context. It is very much catered to the global context, because of which the Indian children, they will face difficulties in. So my app, it personalizes it to the users in such a way that the user has to only at the beginning click photos of everyday items, and that will be saved to the gallery of the app. Now the app, then the user does not have to do anything. When the object or the image is saved to the gallery, the child just has to click on the image, and the AI, which is app is powered by AI, right? So the AI will set in a sentence, like it will state that I want to go to the washroom, for example, or I want to play a game, or help, I need to meet my parents. So this is a way in which the users don't have to put much effort, and they are able to take they are able to use it to its fullest extent. Also, this app has community section where students or parents specifically, they can connect with other parents of each impaired students, and understand their difficulty. They can exchange phone numbers, understand their experiences, how will that help them. And that is how I have catered this app specifically to people with speech difficulties. And now my future goals are also how to also bring this to people with for example, cerebral palsy or others. So the app, it's still in development, but it will be soon launched. It will soon be launched on Play Store or App Store. And but before that, I also have to connect with a number of NGOs, so that I already have a target audience and a consumer base that's going to use it. right? So that otherwise there's no point of the app just being made and it's not being used. So I need to find the NGO or hospitals, for example, which will use the app, and then I can help them to set it up. I can help set it up for them, make it cater it entirely for them, and those are strictly my goals.
You had a leg injury that changed how you saw mobility in daily life. What was the moment you realized you could use the experience to help children facing similar challenges?
So when I had the leg injury, I was maybe like 11, 12. And during that time, I had fractured my leg, specifically the tibia bone. So because of that, I couldn't even move around. And for 3, 4 months straight, I was bedridden. And then again, I fractured at same place. And that again caused more 3, 4 months of fracture, of being bedridden. So during this period, one of the major things that I understood and I found out were how simple things were taken for granted, like doorways. When a person is handicapped or a person can't move, for example, like I couldn't move, I had to go around in a wheelchair. So the doorways are very narrow, that doesn't allow. So that is a very cumbersome thing. That, for example, when I was in my room, the wheelchair couldn't come out. My parents had to support me to get out the room into the hall, and then I could sit on the wheelchair. So that was one of the challenges that were faced. And I believe those were engineering failures, engineering troubles. Also, one of the things that really motivated me was when I used to go to the physiotherapist, and during that I couldn't walk up the stairs. Right, in that they had a device in which the person could sit on the chair, and the chair would automatically go up the slope. So that was a very unique thing that I'd seen. And since it was a very steep one also, so that the person could just go up without climbing the stairs. So that was something that really motivated me. And so that's when I realized that my injury was very much temporary. But there are so many people around the world, in India specifically, who have to face this on a daily basis. I had to face this for like 7 months, but there are people who have had to face this for for like since their birth. So for them, they can't raise their voice because they feel that they can't make any change, and instead they accept it. So that's what I wanted to change. That instead of accepting, we are changing. Right, we are making a change. So that is how I came with the idea of FeedEase, to help people with cerebral palsy to eat food.
Balancing grade 12 schoolwork, robotics, art, social outreach. How do you manage time and stay motivated when things get overwhelming?
So I use Google Sheets as one of my tools. I list down all my activities, and I like set up times where I should work on them. And like for example, in a particular day, I just need to work on my academics. On some day, I just need to work on my robotic arm or the app. And on another day, I need to work on Kench Foundation, help it to expand. Then I also like having so many things also makes it very much cumbersome, because there are so many things to cover. And although I enjoy it, there are times when I feel tired, fatigued. So in those times, like I just take a step back, take 5 minutes, listen to some music, read a book, sketch, or like maybe watch some show or something. But then I ensure that after that period, I'm energized enough to move forward and work. Those are like some of the ways in which I am able to help myself. There are also I also keep whiteboards, wherein I have at least 5, 6 whiteboards that I just write on. That this is my schedule for this day. This is for my academics. This is for my robotic arm. This is for my social outreach. So I have so many boards that it's even sometimes it becomes hard to find out where is what I'm looking for. Where is it written? So these are some of the ways.
Recognition like Young Entrepreneur of the Year or being featured among change makers. How have these helped you?
So the first time that I was featured as the Young Entrepreneur of the Year. I was awarded by a business magazine. So in that, I during the awards ceremony and post that, I was able to connect with many esteemed individuals, like who had their businesses in various fields, like maybe medicine or healthcare or engineering or they had for communication, technology, these different fields. So this award helped me to, first of all, it helped me to connect with such people. I was also given the opportunity. It motivated me in the sense that I it like was the point where I was 100% sure that yeah, what I'm doing is right. I'm on the right track. And these are some of the ways. Another was how I was able to connect with some of these individuals at Outlook magazine, some like the editor or the program head. And I was also able to connect with people with different businesses. For example, there is a business where uh, the founder of that business, has similar passions as me. So how I was able to relate with them, connect with them, really helped in me making a connection with them, and even furthered. And now I also hope to, like, after I fulfill my academic, all the work that are there, I also hope to like connect with them and work with them so that I can expand my products and my work.
Looking ahead in the next 5 years, what is your vision for FeedEase and Sketch for a Cause? Do you want these to scale, be supported by institutions, or become something larger?
So currently, I just finished working on the FeedEase prototype, and I want to now expand it not only from a single NGO but to multiple NGOs. I want to expand the manufacturing. I want to outsource it. Most of all, I want to bring in many hospitals, specifically hospitals that cater individually to people with cerebral palsy or specially abled, so that I'm able to connect with them, able to pitch my idea, pitch my product to them, and so that will help for a more positive impact to be created. For my social outreach work, I aim to currently, like, over the last I started it like 3 years ago, and over the last 3-4 years I have been able to every year bring in new products. It began with a batch, it then moved on to a calendar, then I co-created a card game, an educational card game, and then I then last year I had an inventory of products I made, like mugs, small everyday objects, but those had my sketches on it, and those helped. That was the time when I was able to bring up my donation to up to 1.5 lakh plus. So these are some of the ways, and what I want to really do is that not only in India, not only in Bombay, I want to extend it nationally, and then internationally, then globally, because I believe that it's maybe a small act, sketching, but it is something that if you bring in different artists, we can all collaborate and work towards a specific goal of these many products to build, this much money to get. Maybe bring in a logistics team and work on how to bring in more NGOs together, collaborate with them. And even in my Kensho Foundation, I have a product called which is a starter's guide for social entrepreneurship. It's a booklet called the Starter's Guide to Social Entrepreneurship, which I wrote. So it was based on my experiences of how to start a business, how to be a social entrepreneur, how do you expand it, and basically, like, what are the main things that are required. For example, ikigai. This is a very key concept in business, that ikigai is something that is helps you, is a work, is an occupation or a job where you do what you love, you do something that helps you earn money, good enough money, and it is also something that helps you to serve the society. So I believe that I want to expand that. So this booklet, it is something that will help me to reach out to a larger audience, specifically the younger generation. And also, moreover, the product that I made, the educational card game, that is I want to extend it to more schools for nursery or senior KG, junior KG, and extend it to that, and help and allow them to know more about, like, India's freedom fighters, India's history. These are some of the future scopes I believe my FeedEase and my my Kensho Foundation can reach.
Aarav, thank you so much for sharing your story, your grit, your empathy, and your innovative spirit. It's inspiring to hear how you turn adversity into tools of help, and how art, tech, and compassion live together in your work. Remember, Education isn't just marks or recognition. Often, it's about using what you learn to help others and finding a unique path. If Aarav's journey moves you, share this episode, support student change makers, and maybe find your way of creating change too. For more exciting podcasts, catch us at EdexLive Podcast every Wednesday.
Until next time.
Stay curious, stay kind, and keep learning.